Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this program Revisons Ensemble. My name is Mr. Afe Komi. I am an English, French and EV teacher. I went here with you last time and we started this program with the presentation of CBL exam paper, a CBL version. And today I promise you to come back to continue the revision with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, people of 3eme, I call you to come and to follow me till the end. I greet the parents, everybody, the teachers who are following me at this period. Thank you. I thank the personnel of TV2, everybody, the person that at the regie, everybody. I thank you to have welcomed this program. So today we are going to finish with the writing of the last time. You remember that last time after the presentation of the English paper, the CBL version, I stopped at the level of the writing, and I promised to come today and deal with that writing. And after that, we try another new exam paper. Okay, so I hope you have following last time and you have tried also the writing at home. If you did it, it will be very good for me. But I will try for you and you will see how can we discuss about it. So the topic was, you are a student in Form 4. After the lesson on youth employment, your English teacher asked each of the students to talk about his or her future job. In an essay of 15 lines, tell us your future job and the reason of your choice. That was the topic. I take it again for you. You are a student in Form 4. After the lesson on youth employment, your English teacher asked each of the students to talk about his or her future job. In an essay of 15 lines, tell us your future job and the reason of your choice. So, relevance 2.5, coherence 2.5, accuracy 2, and performance 1. That is the criteria. Now, how can we deal with this topic? It is an essay. They say an essay of 50 lines. We are going to tell the future job and the reason of our choice. So, follow me with the introduction. In an essay of 50 lines, I will give you, or I will tell you my future job and the reason of my choice. Simply, that is the introduction. In an essay of 50 lines, I will tell you my future job and the reason of my choice. Now the value. Being a teacher is my future job. I want to become a teacher because it is a very respectful job. I like sharing my knowledge with people. Despite the difficulties that the teachers job engage, I want to become a teacher because I love this job. Being a teacher is my desire. That is the body. I take it again for you. Being a teacher is my future job. I want to become a teacher because it is a very respectful job. I like sharing my knowledge with people. Despite the difficulties that the teacher's job engage, I want to become a teacher because I love this job. Being a teacher is my desire. Now the conclusion. I want to become a teacher. It is my desire. Okay, so that is just an example of this kind of essay writing that I have tried. You can do something that will be different from this one. But the important point that you have to reveal is to tell us, to describe the job, your future job that you want. For me, it's being a teacher. For you, what's your desire? Is it you want to become a doctor, or you want to become a carpenter, want to become, I don't know, the job you want, okay? You try it, you just choose it and you give the reason, okay? I will take again the letter for you, the topic for you. The topic say, you are a student in Form 4. After the lesson on youth employment, your teacher asks each of the students to talk about his or her future job. In an essay of 15 lines, tell us your future job and the reason of your choice. That is the topic. And the criteria: relevance 2.5, coherence 2.5, accuracy 2, performance 1. Now, the things I have tried. In an essay of 15 lines, I give out, or I tell you my future job and the reason of my choice. Being a teacher is my future job. I want to become a teacher because it is a very respectful job. I like sharing my knowledge with people. Despite the difficulties that the teacher's job engage, I want to become a teacher because I love this job. Being a teacher is my desire. I want to become a teacher because it is my desire. So that is the topic that we have tried for you. Now, today we are going to continue with another topic, and with the complicity of the regie, I will ask them to show you the exam paper on your screen, so you see the exam paper. Thank the regie. That is a test. I hope you see very well the test on your screen. Test. Tradition and customs are very significant in our society. They give us identity as Africans. Traditions and customs were handed to us by our forefathers. We are therefore supposed to preserve them and also leave them for the next generation. There are several factors which appears to militate against the continuation of ritual customs and ceremonies in modern society. The first is the lifestyle norm in industrialized and westernized countries. The second factor is that some of our traditions and customs are old and need to be abandoned, but others must be maintained because their practice has huge and significant impact on our lives as Africans. Such cultural practices include the following: the puberty rites festivals, funerals, and others. All these customs and traditional practices are of a great signification which brings good impact on the society. So that is the test. You are going to forgive the little mistakes that you can see in the test. So I will take the test again for you students to understand. I remember you that when you have a topic like that, you have to read it 3 times. Okay? First reading, second reading, then the third reading before you understand very well. Test. Tradition and custom are very significant in our society. They give us identity as Africans. Traditions and custom were handed to us by our forefathers. We are therefore supposed to preserve them and also leave them for the next generation. There are several factors which appear to militate against the continuation of ritual customs and ceremonies in modern society. The first is the lifestyle norm in industrialized and westernized countries. The second factor is that some of our traditions and customs are old and need to be abandoned, but others must be maintained because their practice has huge and significant impact on our lives as Africans. Such cultural practices include the following: the puberty rites, festivals, funerals, and others. All these custom and traditional practices are of a great signification which brings good impact on the society. That is the test. Now, let us see how we can answer to the questions. So we go back with the questions, the 6 questions that we have at the level of the comprehension. So now let us go with the questions. Questions. Number 1. Give a very suited title to the test. Number 2. According to the test, the puberty rites should also be banned from our cultural practices. True or false? Number 3. Complete the sentence according to the test. The puberty rites festival and funerals are some of the African customs that huge ... as Africans. Number 4. Which word in the test has the same meaning as tradition? Number 5. State one factor that is militating against custom and traditions. And number 6. Do you like the African tradition? Why or why not? So those are the 6 questions that we are going to answer right now. Number 1, we take it again. Give a very suited title to the test. When you read the test very well, you may understand some notion of tradition and custom and so on and so forth. So that belongs to the lesson 12, okay, of your lesson book, okay, lesson 12. Now, what is the suited title to the test? The text. So that is the first number 1, the answers of the questions. Answers of the questions. Number 1, they say give a very suitable title to the test. The test is what, my friend? As the test is talking about the tradition and custom, we are going to talk about tradition and custom. Tradition and custom. That is the topic, the title of the test, tradition and custom. Number 2, according to the test, the puberty rite should also be banned from our cultural practices. True or false? True or false means what? Very full. You just have to choose. When it is true, the things that the test is talking about. When it is true, you say true. But when it is false, you say false. You understand? So, I take the question again. According to the test, the puberty rite should also be banned from our cultural practices. True or false? Before we answer this question, let us come back with the test. The test say, according to the test, the puberty rite. The test say, there are several factors which appear to militate against the continuation of ritual custom and ceremonies in modern society. The first is the lifestyle norm in industrialized and westernized countries. Okay? The second factor is that some of our tradition and custom are old and need to be abandoned, but others must be maintained. That was very important. Maintained. Others have to be maintained because their practice has a huge and significant impact on our lives as an African. Okay? Such cultural practices include the following: the puberty rites festival, funerals, and others. So, the puberty rite festival is among the festivals that must be maintained. You understand? They must be maintained. So the answer is false. Okay? The answer is false. The answer is false. Number 3. Complete the sentence according to the test. The puberty rite festival and funerals are some of the African custom that are huge ... as Africans. Here we are going to complete. How are you going to complete? You go back to the test Okay, you go back to the text and you read very well, very carefully the text. You may see the part that is taken here. You may see the part that where they take this sentence. You may see it when you read very well the text. So we take the text again. But others must be maintained because their practice has huge and significant impact on our lives as Africans. So the word that is the text, where they took the text from is here. But others must be maintained because their practice has a huge. Okay, so we take credit from that because their practice has a huge, okay, and the significant okay, impact on our lives, as Africans. Number 4. Now, which word in the text has the same meaning as tradition? In the text, which word has the same meaning as a tradition? On dit quel mot dans le texte a la même signification que tradition? Lorsqu'on lit bien, le texte même le dit, that is a custom. So tradition, okay, tradition, well, custom, tradition. So tradition is a custom. Number 5 now. State one factor that is militating against custom and tradition. One factor that is militating against custom and tradition. When you read the text, they talk about some factors sometimes in the text. So you use the first is the lifestyle, in industrialized and westernized countries. The second factor is that some of our tradition and custom are old and need to be abandoned. Okay, so we have 2 factors here. Just we are going to write about one among them. That is the lifestyle norm in industrialized and westernized countries. Industrialized and westernized countries. Now the last question now, question 6. Do you like the African tradition? That is a free answer. Free. Okay? You can say yes, you can say no. Now they say why or why not? Why or why not? Do you like the African tradition? When your belief, according to your belief, you think that African tradition is the best, you say, okay, I like the African tradition. But when you think that African tradition is not the best, you can say, okay, I don't like the African tradition. But you may give some answers or some justifications. You must justify why you choose your point of view. So these are the questions. Let us go back with the linguistic competence. Linguistic competence. Remember that this part contains 2 parts. Okay, we have the vocabulary and the grammar. Let us continue with the vocabulary. when you can have the questions on the TV, it will be very, very good for us. But let's continue here. Okay. Linguistic competence, part 2. Linguistic competence. A. Vocabulary. Vocabulary. They say derive the noun from happy. The noun from happy. What is the noun coming from happy? Happy. The noun coming from happy. You give the answer. The noun coming from happy is happiness. 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 That is the noun coming from happy. Happiness. Now number 2. They say match each expression or word to its meaning. Each expression or word to its meaning. To earn. To earn. Okay. Number 3. To apply for. To apply for. So A, B. They say be employed. Be employed in a service. Be employed in a service. And B, receive payment. Receive payment for the work. Receive payment for the work. Now to apply for, they say C, be a candidate. Be a candidate to a post. Be a candidate to a post. And D, that is a machine that can program. A machine one can program. A machine one can program. So at this level, you are going to choose the answer with the definition. So here you have to earn. To earn means what? To earn. Ça veut dire quoi? To earn. Ça veut dire gagner. To earn, gagner. To apply for. Ça veut dire quoi? Faire une demande d'emploi par exemple. Alors, ici on va choisir A, B, C, D. A. Be employed in a service. Être employé dans un service. B. Receive payment for work. Recevoir un paiement pour un travail qu'on a fait. C. Be a candidate to a post. Devenir candidat pour un poste. Et le dit maintenant, a machine one can program. Une machine qu'on peut programmer. Alors, to earn, c'est-à-dire que c'est quoi? De gagner l'argent. Qu'est-ce qu'on va faire avant de gagner l'argent? Est-ce que c'est le A ou bien c'est le B ou bien c'est le C ou bien c'est le D? En lisant, you may understand that B, receive payment for work, recevoir de l'argent. C'est ça qui va avec to earn. Ok? Donc, to earn, we say it is B. Number 3, to apply for. To apply for, on a dit que c'est faire une demande d'emploi. Le C, be a candidate to a post. Être candidat pour un poste. Tu vois, ça marche bien. So, to apply for, go with be a candidate to a post. Okay? Now, let us continue with the 4. Number 4. Rearrange the letter to have a correct English word. On a fait la lettre comme ça. T, N, E, N, P, O, P, O. C'est quel mot ça? Ça c'est quel mot? T, N, E, N, P, O, P, O. What is these words? C'est quel mot? Est-ce que vous avez vu ça en classe? J'espère que vous avez vu au niveau du match, football match. So that is our opponent. Opponent. Ok? English is a game, hein? L'anglais c'est un jeu. Ouais. Ensuite, vous allez juste arranger les mots et puis vous allez trouver le mot. Opponent. T-N-E-N-P-O-P-O, ça fait opponent. Let's continue with find and add the missing letter. Ici, on a cité, on a écrit un mot, il y a une lettre qui manque. Maintenant, à nous de savoir quelle lettre manque. Libé, encore le mot là, non, libation, libation. Libation. Donc, quel mot manque ici pour que ça soit libation? J'espère que vous voyez que c'est la lettre I. So we add the I. Libation. Give the synonym of this word. Celebration. Synonym of celebration. What is the synonym of celebration? Celebration. Okay. What is the synonym of celebration? Synonym of celebration. That is a what we can say festival. Okay. Festival. We can have also ceremony. Okay. We can have also ceremony. You can say festival, a celebration. Can be a festival, it can be a manifestation, it can be what a ceremony. Okay, so those are the questions of at the level of the vocabulary. Now we are going to continue with the grammar point. The grammar point. So we are going to play this part in order to move with the grammar points. I hope you are following what we are doing here. Okay. After also you have the opportunity to make outside through our number, okay, to ask your questions and give your point of view about the lesson that is going on. So we continue with the grammar. Grammar. So we go back with the exam paper. We go back with the exam paper with the complicity of the regie. We go back with the exam paper and we move to the level of grammar. Grammar. The first question of grammar. Say, put the verb in the bracket into the correct form. Put the verb in the bracket into the correct form. 1. They say, they can't help to laugh when they score the final goal. They can't help. The information that is very important here is can't help. They can't help. According to the grammar point, when you see this kind of word, it belongs to which points? Which grammar points? You may remember that it will be the grammar point belonging to the use of can help and can stand. Can help and can stand. That is the use of can help and can stand. Now, what does the rule say? According to the use of can help and can stand, what does the rule say? The rule say we use can help and or can stand. We use can help and can stand plus verb. Okay, plus ing. We use can help or can stand plus verb plus eng. So here we say they can help to laugh when they score the final goal. It become they can help laughing. Now the answer is laughing. They can help laughing. Okay. Number 2. Choose the correct answer from the bracket. When I was in primary school, I used to play. Play. Then I want to choose playing or played or play. School competition. Okay. When I was in primary school, I used to in bracket playing, played, play. What are you going to choose? That is the grammar point belong to the use of used to. The use of used to and would. The use of used to and would. What does the rule say? The rule say when you have used or would, you are going to use the verb infinitive minus 2. That is the rule. You see, used to or would, you use the verb infinitive minus 2. So here the sentence, when I was in primary school, I used to, we have playing. Is it a form, infinitive form? No. Played. Is it a uniform? No. Then which one? Play. So we use a play. Okay? Because we say they like to play. So we underline the two and it becomes play. You understand? Let us continue with the three. The third one. If the elders consult the oracle, they would have now the sacrifices. Lorsque vous avez chaque point grammatical, il faut demander à quelle grammaire fait-on allusion avec ce point. Chaque fois vous voyez, à quel, vous posez la question, c'est quel type de grammaire ici? Quelle est la règle qu'on doit pratiquer? Quand tu poses la question, quelle est la règle? Et puis tu trouves, et puis tu ne fais que respecter la règle et puis tu trouves. Alors ici, on dit, if the elders to consult. Ça c'est quelle règle? C'est la règle de if for close. If for close. If for close. If close, quelle est la règle qui marche avec if close? Vous devez d'abord savoir que if close, il y a trois. Donc, il y a type 1, type 2 et type 3. Voilà les types de if clauses. Il y a trois types. Type 1, type 2 et type 3. Alors, quelle est la règle de type 1? Type 1, la règle se dit if place simple, présent, place simple, future. Ça c'est if type 1 ça. On utilise le présent et le futur. Par exemple, if I have money, if I have money, okay, I will buy a car. If I have money, I will buy a car. Have, c'est le présent. Will buy, c'est le futur. Donc lorsqu'on utilise le présent, nous on va chercher le futur. Si c'est le futur qu'on a déjà, on va chercher quoi? Le présent. Ça c'est type 1. Maintenant type 2. Type 2 maintenant. La règle dit, if, place simple past, maintenant ça devient le passé. Place conditional present. Maintenant si j'ai le passé, je vais chercher quoi? Le conditional présent. Exemple toujours, on prend toujours notre phrase qu'on va transformer. If maintenant, on va plus dire have, parce que have c'est le présent, maintenant le passé. If I had money, if I had money, et ceci, on va plus dire will c'est le futur, maintenant on va dire le conditionnel. I would buy a car. If I had money, I would buy a car. Donc had c'est le passé, would buy c'est le conditionnel présent. On est d'accord. Maintenant, troisième type de if clause, type 3. Il dit, là-bas, la règle dit, if place past perfect, place conditional perfect. On va utiliser maintenant if avec le past perfect plus le conditional perfect. On se rappelle que pour faire le past perfect, on a besoin de had plus pipi. Et pour faire le conditional perfect, on a besoin de would plus have plus pipi. Exemple, c'est possible. On peut voir ici. Si c'est possible, on fait la phrase ici. If I had money, if I had money, I would have bought a car. Ouais. If I had money, had là c'est quoi? C'est le past perfect. Maintenant, I would have bought a car. Ça c'est quoi? C'est conditional perfect. Donc si vous voyez if avec le past perfect, de cette façon on va chercher le conditional perfect. Si vous voyez if avec le simple present, on va chercher le futur. Si vous voyez if avec simple past, on va chercher le conditionnel présent. Donc c'est comme ça ça marche, ok? Donc chers élèves, il faut essayer d'évoluer avec la règle. Il faut apprendre la règle. C'est ça qui va vous aider à reconnaître vraiment les phases et les transformer. Nous continuons toujours. Maintenant, nous évoluons avec la question 4. Voilà. Alors, ici, la question 3, on n'a pas encore le conduit. On dit, if the elders to consult, the oracle they would have known. Donc, on voit que would have known, c'est quoi? C'est un prix. Ça veut dire condition perfect. Donc, on va dire quoi? If the elders had consulted. Voilà le past perfect. Had consulted. On aura le temps de revenir sur ces aspects dans nos prochaines émissions. Nous allons vous expliquer tout. Comment former les past perfect, comment former, c'est-à-dire le problème que vous avez sur le temps, comment les maîtriser. Nous allons revenir dans nos prochaines émissions. Mais nous continuons d'abord avec ici le numéro 4 qui dit our school put always at the right place in this sentence. Our school team wins its matches. Ok, on doit mettre le mot always. Le mot always, c'est un adverbe de temps. On doit mettre le mot always dans cette phrase. Our school team wins its match. On va passer always toujours où on place toujours always devant le verbe. Donc ça va devenir our school team wins. Our school team always wins its match. Donc c'est ce que ça va devenir. Our school team always win its matches. Voilà. Donc voilà le numéro 4. Number 5 maintenant, on dit pour des plural, give the plural of a foot. Le pluriel de foot. Bon, ça c'est depuis 6e, on doit savoir. Foot. Plural of foot is what? Feet. Les deux O se transforment en deux E. Feet. Use the correct form of the adjective in the bracket. Maintenant, question 6, la dernière question de la grammaire. Question 6. Use the correct form of the adjective in the bracket. Football is interesting than other games. Ici, il y a Dan qui nous dit en même temps que c'est quoi? Il s'agit de comparative form. Et c'est quel type de comparative form? Comparative form of long adjective. Parce que interesting, c'est quoi? C'est un adjectif long. Donc, comparative of long adjective. Donc, la règle dit quoi? Rule. Lorsqu'on est au niveau du comparative of long adjective, la règle dit we use more plus adjective, ok, plus than. On va utiliser more plus avec plus than. Donc, ce moment, ça va devenir quoi? Football is more interesting than other games. Voilà un peu les aspects de la grammaire. Maintenant, la dernière partie qui nous reste, c'est la partie de essai. Et c'est la partie qui donne plus de points, comme je vous avais dit l'autre fois. Alors, during the cultural week in your school, CG à l'ENE, the students are given the opportunity to organize with for their teachers many kinds of games. Write a letter to your friend John in another school to tell him the different games you perform in your school and how you enjoy them. This is your address. Gato Kofi P.O. Box 1774. In about 50 lines, write your letter. Okay? Relevance 2.5, coherence 2.5, accuracy 2, and performance 1. Alors, je vais vous aider, je vais vous donner quelques informations et je vais vous demander de rédiger la lettre. Ok? À la maison. Comme ça, prochainement, lorsque nous venons, ceux qui ont rédigé la lettre, vous allez nous faire signe. Ok? On va voir si vous avez réussi. Alors, il s'agit de quoi ici? Il s'agit d'une lettre privée. Private letter. Il s'agit d'une lettre privée. Maintenant, quelle est l'information qu'on va donner dans la lettre? On nous donne la situation during the cultural week. C'est pendant la semaine culturelle. In your school, CG à l'ENE. Dans ton école qui s'appelle CG à l'ENE. The students are given the opportunity to organize with their teachers many kinds of games. On dit les élèves ont organisé en collaboration avec les enseignants plusieurs jeux. C'est jeux qu'on appelle game. Plusieurs jeux. Write a letter to your friend John in another school to tell him the different games you perform. Écris une lettre à ton ami John qui vit dans ou bien qui fréquente une autre école en l'expliquant les différents jeux que tu as pratiqués. Ok? And how you enjoy it, comment tu les as aimés. This is your address. Voici ton adresse. Gator Coffee, P.O. Box 1774. Gator Coffee, P.O. Box 1714. Donc ici, c'est une lettre privée. Dans la lettre, tu vas juste expliquer les jeux que tu as pratiqués durant la semaine culturelle. Ok? Donc, chers élèves, chers téléspectateurs, je vais vous laisser les exercices, surtout les élèves de 3e. Vous allez rédiger la lettre. Ok? Et vous allez nous envoyer. Ok? Vous contactez l'équipe pédagogique pour nous envoyer la lettre. Nous serons très fiers de le lire et de partager ça avec les téléspectateurs. Donc voilà l'épreuve que nous venons de traiter. On vient de finir comme ça l'épreuve. Prochainement, le mardi prochain, je vous invite tous encore à être à l'heure. Nous allons commencer les grandes révisions. We are going to revise from test team 1. Ok? Team 1, lesson 1, 2, 3. On va commencer par réviser les leçons aussi ici. Donc, be always together with us, be ready with us, and we are going to work together. Okay? For your future, for your best future. Donc, je vais m'arrêter ici pour l'instant. Je vous donne rendez-vous encore la semaine prochaine, mais les cours continuent. Après, le cours de mathématiques va passer. Et voilà, demain aussi, le programme, vous le connaissez. Et nous allons continuer. Je remercie tous ceux qui sont derrière cette noble émission. Tous les parents d'élèves, surtout les enseignants qui nous suivent, la régie technique, tous ceux qui quand même essaient de mettre leur effort en jeu pour que cette émission puisse progresser. Je vous salue, je vous donne rendez-vous la semaine prochaine. C'était AFECOMI Espino. Merci beaucoup. Ciao, ciao.
C'était juste un flic comme les autres. Non.